Welcome back to Ipswich. This is going to be one of our tightest finals of the day. It's been a battle between three teammates out of the CXR stable, and they will occupy positions 1, 2, 3. They've been pretty gentlemanly up to this point. Let's see what it's like at the end of 20 laps. Declan Matthews on the pole in the 55. Young Dominic Penman on the outside front row for the bedshed. Next row of the grid's a 74 of Jace Matthews. Then William Thompson, the Victorian, in the 14. Your Australian champion Keegan Fraser out of 5. Then Lachlan Platten in the 7. Josh Miller, he's been on fire. He's got one podium already today. Thomas Hunter in the 78. Williams, Addison Ray, and Moyes. 20 on the board, Rick Green. Down to turn number 1 in KA3. And everyone gets through there without problem. It's been the story of the weekend. We don't see this at club racing level. Declan it is who leads the way now. He's got the best of the start. So they work their way down to the Video Pro corner for the first time. Penman's dropped back to third off the start in this one. So the youngster out of the CXR stable. It's the two brothers up the front. They've had a lockout. Their aim was to get a lockout of the championship here, and have been certainly well on the way. But watch out for the Australia one of Fraser. So we haven't seen much of Keegan Fraser throughout the course of the weekend, and he's already got himself into 4th position. So could he be the spoiler here in the DPE Kart Superstore? Arrow, Adam Mercer and the team down there will have that thing absolutely prime for the final. Team CXR was looking forward to the podium party this afternoon. Penman goes into 2nd position past Jace Matthews. But it's Declan Matthews up the front. He's got the advantage at the moment as we work lap number 2. Down to the hairpin. Oh, Fraser went too deep. He went very deep on Jace. That's really compromised him. And they've all bottled up. They've all bottled up in that battle for 3rd now. So that's just thrown a couple of flies into the ointment here. The order as they cross the line at the end of lap 2. Declan Matthews clear. Dominic Penman clear. Fraser messy, but 3rd. Platten. Then Jace Matthews. William Thompson drops back to 6th. Miller. Then Williams. Hunter. Romeo Nasra's moved himself up to the top 10. So that was a bit early for those sort of shenanigans, but you've got to go for it. The state championships on the line. Everyone's just got to calm their farm a little bit and start to work their way forward. Global Road Maintenance Systems bringing us this KA3 final. Dominic Penman closes the gap down to half a second. On his team boss, Declan Matthews. The boys off their way to Singapore next weekend for the Asia Pacific Kart Championship. It'll be a big one over there, one of the major rock meetings and a qualifier for the Rock Championships. Several Australians headed across there. So Matthews in 3rd, Fraser in 3rd here. He is trying to close that gap after being a bit like a wrecking ball into the hairpin the last time by. Guarantee you that Jace Matthews will have the red mist down in 4th spot and trying to close that gap to get himself onto the podium. Jace indeed was in the 49s. There are only 2 drivers in the 49s the last time by. That being Penman in 2nd spot and Jace Matthews in 4th. Up the front, Penman starting to close the gap down. It's under 0.2 of a second. What is the strategy here? Don't think Declan Matthews is going to be too open to opening the door for Dominic Penman. Dom's going to have to work for it, that is for sure. There's Miller in 6th spot behind Lachlan Platten with Joshua Miller with William Thompson on his tail. Thompson will be feeling a little aggrieved. You'd have to get the feeling, because he was certainly in that mix to look for. Oh boy, and I said, what was the strategy going to be? There wasn't a strategy. You saw it dramatically. The bottom of your screen, Penman said, I'm going through. The gloves are off out there at the front of the field. So with Penman moving his way forward, they both went extremely wide at turn number 1. That's invited Fraser and Matthews into the conversation. So we'll have a battle in 4 at the front fairly shortly, with Matthews being Jace up the inside and into 3rd now. Fraser's going to try and argue the toss, but Matthews closes the door. Still watching this battle between Platten, Miller and Thompson. So there's Matthews, that being Jace Matthews, trying to close it down on his brother Declan and his teammate Dominic Penman, who's trying to pull away. Keegan Fraser keeping him very honest. The Australia 1 in 4th position. Then Lachlan Platten charging on with Miller and Thompson behind him. They want to jump up and join this argument. KA3 Senior, this is a style of racing that we see from these guys on a regular basis. Declan Matthews with the new quickest lap in second of 49.531. Just 1/100th quicker than Dominic Penman. How's the build down at CXR Race Engines? A further 1/100th slower than Declan was Jace in 3rd position. So 100th of a second separated Penman, Matthews and Matthews in terms of their race times. Their lap times the last time through. As they come back around to the start-finish straight. Jace Matthews now with the quickest lap of the race. He's starting to close on in. So we'll have the race in 3 back together between the CXRs. We saw it earlier on. There's a state championship up for grabs. There's no friends when a blue plate's up for grabs here. Fraser's just dropped off the back of that group there now in the Australia 1. It was a 49.6. That played 49.4s for Jace, a 49.5 for Declan and Penman. Now Declan Matthews in 2nd spot. He's got the Team Australia gear on from the end of last year. He's picked up the pace a little bit here on this lap. We're not quite at the halfway point. Max Walton's up to 8th spot, crashed out of the race earlier on in tag light. He's up to 8th spot now. Number 8 machine pulls out of commission. That's Jax Barrington. We'll be at the halfway point when they cross the line. The next time we'll give you the call of the card when they get there. Penman's pulled out a little bit here on Declan Matthews this past lap. Jace is the one on the charge. So we're halfway there in the KA3 final. And it's Penman leading by 4/10 of a second over Declan Matthews. Jace Matthews closing in. Just took 3/10 out of his brother. Keegan Fraser 4th. Then Platten, Miller, Thompson, Walton in 8th. Hunter, then Williams in 10th spot. Then it was Spinks, Adamson, Ray, Nazra in 14th spot. Moyes, then Thompson and Reardon. Followed by Lane, Lesmes, Chizlowski rounds out your 20. Then McCartney, Kittle, Sullivan and Maguire rounding out your top 25 as they sit halfway through our 20-lap race here this afternoon to decide the KA3 Senior Champion of Queensland, with thanks to Global Road Maintenance Services. and Jace has got through on Declan now. So it might be up to Jace after getting shuffled down the order, losing track position to close the gap on young Dominic Penman. Thought the boys had plenty of state championships to their credit. I was actually quite surprised. They've only got a couple between them when it comes to outright state championships, not taking into account multi-around events from the Australian Kart Championships. So both of the Matthews boys were very keen. They've got their young star in Dominic Penman. He's moved up from juniors over recent times. There's Miller coming to the line. He's still behind Platten in 7th spot. Doesn't really have the pace to go any further forward. Does Joshua Miller in that number 13 machine. Further back, Max Walton still in 8th spot. Everyone lapping about the same at the moment, so there's not much change going on. The only real change that I can see out there, anyone at pace at the moment, is Jace Matthews. One of them pulls up at the RHQ corner from further back in the pack. So across the line they come now. Penman. He's got 0.3 of a second. Up on Jace Matthews. Matthews taking almost 0.2 out of the race leader. There's Keegan Fraser in 4th position. He's having a lonely run after being in a position potentially to challenge for a podium in the early stages of this. You can see the race is on for the lead now. The teammates are 1, 2 and 3, but that matters little because Jace Matthews is on the charge. Will pick up the race for the lead between Penman and Matthews. There's a 71 out of commission. Penman comes across the start-finishing line, but Matthews is right on his tail. Will pick that up. Six laps remaining in this one. Jace Matthews right on the tail of your race leader. Five and a half laps left to go. So we've got a challenge on for the lead going down the back straight away. Finally, there it is. Penman with Matthews on his tail. So can Declan just hang tough here in case something happens in front of him? Working their way through turn 1 at Global Hub. Can Penman respond? He went slightly faster, only a couple of hundredths. There's 5 remaining. It's still anyone's here. Penman has picked it up. Just had a bit of a kip there, just saving his resources for late. Had a look behind him. It's good to see that Jace Matthews was right on his hammer. Our second to last race of what's been a spectacular on-site rental group Queensland State Championship. It's not over and done with yet. Global Road Maintenance Services bringing you KA3. G. Penman, where's he drawing this from? He was gone for all money 2 laps ago. He's now gone a 10th quicker than Matthews and opened the gap out to 4/10. Declan Matthews quicker than his brother. Through the Video Pro corner they go. Jace is going to have to pull every single trick out of his bag here over the final few laps. But I can guarantee you if someone's got tricks left, it'll be Jace Matthews. Through the final set of turns they go. Everyone else pretty well line astern as they were. Jace responds by half a tenth that lap. This is a classic fight at the back end of what's been a long weekend of racing. They did 3 12-lap heats yesterday. Here we are at the 20-lap final. There's Declan Matthews in third spot. In front of him is his brother in Jace, chasing down their young teammate in Dominic Penman. And Jace closes in again now. Closes it down to 0.3 of a second. There's the gap from first to second, with Declan holding on to third. We've got 2 to go in the final. Who's it going to be? Can Penman hold on? Oh, Jace closed it down. Penman looks like he's been able to find something here. He's got the advantage at the moment from a team perspective. The whole CXR team is on the fence down there, cheering on a podium lockout. It's what that podium looks like, though, that's going to be the story. We'll have traffic potentially involved as well. We saw what that can do in our last race. 1 lap to go now for Dominic Penman. Can he hold on? Or will Jace Matthews throw everything at him? There was under 0.3 of a second between them. Jace didn't have enough behind him the last time by. Does he have something here? Through Electro they go. Out of RHQ. Here's a major opportunity that it's going to expend itself, but Jace has to go deep under brakes. Penman holding on to it. The youngster up through the Autobahn corner for the final time. They're going to get traffic at the end of the back straight away. Here's probably the last passing opportunity for Jace Matthews. Penman runs it a little bit wide through there. Jace has caught up to him right through the final corner. To the line they come. It's going to be Dominic Penman. He gets it done. A fantastic last corner, last lap race again. Declan Matthews completes a Team CXR lockout. Your Australian champion Keegan Fraser home in 4th spot. Then it was Lachlan Platten, followed by Joshua Miller, William Thompson, then Max Walton home in 8th spot. Hunter, Williams in 10th, then Spinks, Nazra, then Moyes, followed by Ray, then Thompson Lane, Lesmes in 17th, then Reard and Chislowski, Matt Price, then McCartney Sullivan, Kittle, Yarwood and McQuinn. But it's Penman who gets it done.